Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to do the chapter metallurgy. So what is metallurgy? The process of extraction of pure metals from their respective minerals is called metallurgy. So the extraction of pure metals from the minerals are called metallurgy. So from every minerals we can't extract the pure metals, and so from the minerals from which we can extract the pure metals is known as ores, and so I have here written the directly ores. So the process of extraction of pure metals from their respective ores is called metallurgy. So now next one is minerals. The compounds of various metals found in nature with their earthly impurities is known as minerals. So the ores, the naturally occurring minerals from which we can extract the metals easily, is known as ores. Simple. This down parts are reduced syllabus, so I am not explaining that, and not needed also. Now, so next is 5 steps for extraction of any metals. So 5 steps are there, but this is in reduced syllabus, but we will study so that we can understand the further part. First step is crushing of ore. We have to crush any ore. I have written here, ores are being crushed by heavy rollers and machine into very fine parts. Then the concentration of ore means filtering out the ores and the impurities from it, and then conversion of ore into metal oxide. Then we have to convert the ore into metal oxide. Then we have to do the reduction of metal oxide into metal plus oxygen. But this metal will be also in impureness, will be not 99.9% pure. This will be 90% pure, 95% pure. For making it 99.9% pure, we have to do again the next process, refining or purifying. So this one is reduced, but the extraction of aluminium metal is coming. So we will see that. But for that we have to see one more, that is this one. Conversion of ore into metal oxide. For this we have two processes, roasting and calcination. In roasting, oxygen plus heat is used, but in calcination only heat is used. For that, because so the reaction in which the oxygen will be not present will be done by roasting, and the reaction in which the already oxygen will be present will be done by directly calcination. So we see one example, zinc sulfide. Here no oxygen was present, so we have used the oxygen to convert it into oxide, zinc oxide, and here is already oxygen present, calcium carbonate, so it is directly heated up to give calcium oxide plus oxygen. I have not written further, but and this one is reduction of metallic oxides. This one is reduced by. So the next part is common ores of aluminium, zinc and iron. This one is also reduced. So common ores of aluminium, zinc and iron. For aluminium, the common name is bauxite, cryolite and the corundum, and the chemical name is hydrated aluminium oxide, sodium aluminium fluoride and the aluminium oxide. The formula is like Al2O3.2H2O, and cryolite formula is Na3AlF6, and corundum formula is Al2O3. Now for zinc blend is known as zinc sulfide. Formula is zinc sulfide and common chemical name is zinc sulfide, ZnS. And calamide, its chemical name is zinc carbonate and its formula is ZnCO3. And zincite, its chemical name is zinc oxide and formula is ZnO. For iron, the 4 common ores are there, hematite, magnetite, iron pyrites and the spathic iron ore. For this, hematite is known as Fe2O3, that is iron oxide, and magnetite is Fe3O4, that is tri-iron tetraoxide. Iron pyrite its chemical name is iron disulfide, that is FeS2, and spathic iron ore is FeCO3, that is iron carbonate. So you have to learn it. I will be putting this notes in the description, you can go through it. Now coming to the main part, that is extraction of aluminium. This one is coming this year in the board. Concentration of ore. The first step is we have to follow the 4 steps for extraction of aluminium. So the first process is concentration of ore, that is purification of impurities. Impurities will be anything, but here mainly is iron, tin or sand. Purification of impurities, this one from ores, means ores will be purified from the impurities, and this was named as Bayer's process because of the scientist Bayer's. Now the step 1 is bauxite Al2O3.2H2O plus reacting with the sodium hydroxide, that is concentrated sodium hydroxide, aqueous in nature, aqueous solution, with the temperature of 140 degrees Celsius, and this was the long process, so it was left in for the 2 to 8 hours, and then it gives the sodium metaluminate NaAlO2 plus water. And so iron Fe, means iron impurity, was insoluble. And you might be thinking that why we have used the only NaOH, because no, NaOH used because it dissolves aluminium, but impurities were not dissolved, and so the sodium metaluminate was filtered out. Now in step 2, now what we have filtered out was sodium metaluminate was diluted with the water in the presence of 50 degrees Celsius. Heat was reduced to give sodium hydroxide plus aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium hydroxide filtered out, and then it was dried after putting it in the sunshine and sun rays for 2 to 3 hours. It was dried up, and then again the step 3 was done. Aluminium hydroxide ignited with the temperature of 1100 degrees Celsius. Ignited means heated up very high with the high temperature 1100 degrees Celsius to give pure alumina Al2O3 plus H2O. We got pure alumina Al2O3. Now we want only the aluminium metal, not alumina. So we have to do further steps. For that we have to, after this we have to do the conversion of metal into metal oxide, but there is no need of second step, that is converting ore into oxide, because Al2O3 is already in oxide. We can see that Al2O3 aluminium oxide already is in oxide, so we don't need any second step, that was conversion of metal into metal oxide, because it is already in metal oxide. Now third one note is more I have written here is reduction of alumina is not possible by, we have seen, carbon monoxide or water, because it is highly stable and high affinity for oxygen. Al2O3 means oxide will be not reduced by the carbon monoxide or water, or hydrogen, because it is very highly stable oxide and it has high affinity for oxygen. Now this last part, means in third step there is electrolytic reduction of metallic oxide. Now we have to reduce the metallic oxide into oxide, but that can be done by the any reactions with the carbon monoxide, hydrogen, or by thermal decomposition, but that all was not possible. So we have to do by the electrolysis. But in this also there was problem. What was the problem? Difficulties during electrolytic reduction of alumina was alumina is a non-electrolyte metal, and melting point was 250 degrees Celsius, which was very high, and so the process was not success, because it will forms into vapor and the aluminium won't be collected, pure and won't be connected, and so the process was not successful. Aluminium metal get volatilized out and get wasted. I have told now it forms the vapor and wasted out, and it won't be collected. So it was not successful. That problem, the solution was given by a scientist called Hall-Heroult, which then the process named as Hall-Heroult process. Now see, this process is very, very important now, and further one also is very important. So see, from here you must watch carefully. Now what was the setup was like this: sloppy was made, and this was carbon was attached sidewise of the beaker, and anode was also of carbon, and cell was of also carbon. Now we have taken the electrolyte of alumina plus kyrolite plus calcium fluoride, and kyrolite was very important. Why so? Because Carolite was reducing the 250 degrees Celsius of alumina to 950 degrees Celsius, so that the process was able to done at the what we say heat supply of 950 degrees Celsius, and also it was electrolytic in nature, and this was of also electrolytic in nature. And so we have taken the ratio 3 of the Carolite, 1:3:1. Alumina was 1 and Carolite was 3, and calcium fluoride was also 1, and this was only 3 because this was very important. And now we this was the electrolyte, and so after the process of when we will start processing electrolysis, it will splits into ions: aluminium plus oxygen, sodium aluminum plus fluorine plus calcium plus fluorine. And so anion cation, anion cation, anion cation. Now anion will move to anode and cation will move to cathode, but here was three elements of anode and 3 anion and 3 elements of cathode. Now which one will be discharged at cathode and which one will be discharged at anode? Now we will have to see the activity series. Aluminium, sodium aluminum and calcium, in these 3 the aluminium is at the bottom, so aluminium will be discharged at cathode because this is cation, so it will be discharged at cathode since it is at the bottom of the series. And similarly to anion part, oxygen is at the bottom, fluorine is at above in the electronegativity series, so oxygen will be discharged at the anode. And now oxygen will be discharged at the anode and aluminium will be discharged at the cathode, and so cathode was made sloppy, so aluminium will go slowly and it will be collected downward at here, and so the process was done. But here we have used the powdered coke. Why so? To prevent the heat loss, while we will apply the heat of 950 degrees Celsius, it will form vapor and it will evaporate, and so for prevent that we have used the powdered coke. And also one more reason was there, so it was very near to this, and when heat was applied, that was 950 degrees Celsius, it might burn also, so it also saves carbon nacelles from burning. And that was all the process. And one more, anode we have to keep replacing the anode. Why so? Anode decreases because of evaporation, and we have to replace anode time to time, because while we will supply heat of 950 degrees Celsius, it also forms the vapors and it also evaporizes, but and so we have to replace it time to time, so that process will be normal. For refining we used the Hoops process. Hoops process was like, we have taken a beaker, at bottom we have placed the anode and at the above cathode was placed. Now 3 levels was made. At the bottom impure aluminium was put it through a tube directly through the bottom part, and at the between there was strong electrolyte, sodium fluoride plus calcium fluoride, and at the above there was pure aluminium. Now the process was like at anode and at cathode. At anode, aluminium will lose the 3 electron to form aluminium, so that now it will move towards the cathode. Aluminium positive hai, now aluminium 3 plus, so it will move towards the cathode, so now it will move towards the electrolyte into the second level, that is electrolyte. Now it will be more, as already here it was filled, so it will become more. Now again it will from here aluminium will be pushed towards the pure aluminium, and now again here will become more overload than the earlier. Now it will comes down through this one, what we say, spout towards here, and here will be collecting the pure aluminium. This was all the process. Now there is also alloys in the syllabus. So what is alloy? Alloy is substance prepared by adding other metals or non-metals in appropriate proportion to get desirable properties. So alloy is like there is already a metal, but again we will mixed up with another metal or non-metal. It will be mixed up by the melting the both components, and again it will be solidifying, and then it will become a alloy. Means mixing up two or more metals or non-metals, and then it will be solidified again, and then it will form the alloys and this was done to get the desirable properties, and so that was the alloys. You have to understand, you have to write it by own, but just adding metals or non-metals in appropriate proportion to get desirable. So and it is done by the melting the component, both components, and then again it is solidified to get the desirable properties. And that was all. And now one more is there in the syllabus, that is aluminium, alloys of the aluminium. So there are three alloys of the aluminium: duralumin, magnalim, and the alnico. Its composition is: duralumin is composed of aluminium, magnesium, manganese, and copper, and its property is very light, and it is stronger than aluminium also, and it is used in aircrafts, ships, and light tools. Now magnesium is composed of magnesium plus aluminium. We can see by the name only, and it's also light, strong, and corrosive resistant, and it is also used in aircrafts and beams of balance. Now alnico, in name only all compositions are hidden, that is aluminium, nickel, and cobalt, and one more is there, iron, and its properties is it is also light, and it is shiny, and it is also corrosion resistant. Now it is used in magnets. Thank you. And so the chapter is completed. Metallurgy. You go through the notes, I will be putting it in the description, then you will understand more better. And if you don't understand, you go through the video one more times, then you will understand, because it's the long process, long chapter, and it's the long process. So thank you.